I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesty, above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crowned thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. Clap for yourself, you sound very...
As we begin a new year, grant our new officers the energy to spread the many wonderful offerings of Rotary. May we all abide by the rules we have established, those of trust, fellowship, and ethics, and may we place service above self in our daily endeavors. May we always test ourselves and our efforts to be sure they are the truth, good for all concerned, of benefit to mankind, and provide peace and understanding. Lastly, let's give thanks that our friend, Governor Matz, had the strength, determination, and wisdom to make the 2013-2014 Rotary year successful.
I'd like to make a few introductions before we bring up David. I'd like to mention we have Rotary International Director-elect Julia Phelps and Steve McKenzie here. District Governor Mats Ingmanson and Sandra. Of course, District Governor-elect David Belmonte and Dee. And President of the Rotary Club of New York and past District Governor Paul Caruso and Gail. We're going to skip lunch because we already had it, and then we're going directly into the installation ceremony, and I'm going to call up David Belmont.
It's my great pleasure to introduce to this august body Rotary International Director-elect Julia Phelps, and also her husband Steve McKenzie, who drove from Greenland, New Hampshire to be with us today, just especially for us. So that's so let's give them a thank you. Julia is the installing officer for today. And Julia is a recipient of the citation for emeritus service presented by the trustees of the Rotary Foundation. Steve McKenzie, her husband, and Julia are major donors and charter members of the Bequest Society. She is also a Paul Harris Society member. And with that, I'm looking forward to her talk, and I'd like you to join me in a warm Rotary welcome for Julia Phelps.
Thank you, David, for that kind introduction and for the invitation to be here today. Steve and I really appreciate the hospitality and the thoughtfulness and friendship that you and Dee Dee have shown to us. So thank you very much. Today we're here to celebrate the induction of District 7230's leadership, and especially all of those who are going to be serving as the president of the Rotary Club for the 14-15 year. As part of that celebration, I want to talk to you about wheels. Now, I'm not going to talk to you about a color wheel, or a steering wheel, or a potter's wheel, or even a bicycle wheel. No, today I'm going to talk to you about our rotary wheel. Oops, the rotary wheel that got moved way far away from me. Hold on. Great, thank you, Don. Now, wheels have been with us for a very long time in our history. The wheel was invented in prehistoric times, and it's believed that it originated in Mesopotamia, which today we know as Iraq. There's speculation that this creation actually happened out of There we go. All right. Is that better? Yeah. All right. I don't need to start over. Right answer. Very good. It's believed that it was a simple observation that resulted in the creation of the wheel. And it was just some tree trunks rolling down the side of a mountain. And when those prehistoric humans saw this, they said, well, you know what, we could put a couple of these tree trunks together, put something on top of it to keep it stable, put whatever it is we want to move, and it can move more easily and faster and without as much effort. So that's where the origin of the wheel really started. Many years later, we got a little more creative, and we used slices of tree trunks that we actually joined together with an axle. And soon these wheels became wooden discs that were cut, and they were joined together with a hole in the middle for the axle. Wheels with spokes were invented more recently, and this type of wheel has allowed people to make objects that move much faster and quicker, and were able to transport things much more easily. Now, our rotary wheel also has a history. This history goes back to the very early days of our organization. The idea of using a wheel as our emblem is attributed to Paul Harris, our founder, who thought that the wheel symbolized modern civilization and movement. So within the first few years of Rotary, many clubs used the symbol of a wheel on their stationery or as pins when they were designing pins. The only problem with that was that they all had their own interpretation of what this wheel would look like. And while Paul Harris thought his idea of the buggy wheel was quite good and very progressive, other people thought that the buggy wheel was kind of lifeless. So to bring life to the buggy wheel, some Rotary clubs in those early days actually designed the wheel, and they had little clouds of dust to show motion around that. Now that lasted for just a short while because somebody was very quick to point out that a wheel doesn't create dust in front of itself. So the dust got eliminated from the design, and they started over it. But like so many organizations, the conversation and debate about the symbols that represent you just started. And so for Rotarians, we were thinking about how could this wheel tell the world who we are and what we're all about. In 1912, at the Rotary International Convention, an executive committee was directed to come up with an emblem that could be adopted by all Rotary clubs. This next sentence kind of hurts to say it, but a group of men, no women involved, began the creative process of creating this wheel. This group of men argued about whether the wheel that was being used, this buggy wheel, really did convey the meaning of what Rotary was about. Did it convey the idea of working together? They proposed that there needed to be a new symbol. that wheel, while the idea was great, we really needed to have a more modern, a more progressive look to our wheel. And so they added cogs and spokes to the wheel because they really felt like this symbolized a working wheel. It symbolized moving together, moving forward, and this was really important to a group of Rotarians in that day and age, especially those Rotarians that were engineers. In 1918, a small group of these engineers really began lobbying for a wheel that was accurate. They didn't want something that was just symbolic. They wanted an accurate wheel. They wanted something that had spokes, that had a keyway, and they really put out a lot of designs in those first few years. 10 years later, so this started in 1918, 10 years later, in 1928, we now have the rotary wheel that we have today that has the 6 spokes and the 24 gear wheels. Now, I say the 10 years later because I think it's interesting. You know, we complain about things not happening very quickly in Rotary. Well, it took 10 years for us to get the wheel right, from 1918 to 1928 before it was adopted. So some things haven't changed in Rotary. Now this keyway, the little part right here in the center, this keyway is really important. It's in the center of the gear and it's what attaches to the power shaft. That's where the key fits in. Now, what exactly does this key do? This little key is so important because it's what aligns the wheels, the power shaft, and anything else that's necessary to make the wheel run smoothly and efficiently. It's what makes sure everything is in sync. And if for some reason things get out of line, it's the key that bends or wiggles around. It's the key that, if necessary, actually in some cases will break to keep all the other gears, the wheel itself, from being destroyed. So we know that the wheel has changed the world in so many incredible ways. It's often regarded as the invention that paved the way for all other innovations. The wheel was at the center of the Industrial Revolution. It's the most important thing that a wheel had done for us, is given us a much easier and faster transportation. It's brought us the trains, it's brought us cars. It's also helped our economy grow and for us to become the people in the society that we are today. Without the wheel, the world as we know it would not exist. The same is true of our rotary wheel and the people that wear the rotary wheel on their lapel. We have changed the world. We've defined humanitarian service to others. We've demonstrated the power and strength of ordinary people, ordinary individuals working together for a common purpose. We've initiated youth programs for young people to be able to experience another life, another country for an extended period of time. We played a role in the creation of the United Nations. We've created a foundation and a grant process that allows clubs to address issues of health, hunger, and humanitarian issues. And probably most importantly, we've made a commitment to the children of the world that we are going to eradicate polio. Yes, this little wheel, this wheel has changed the world. But this wheel works by rolling. And that's what you as district leaders and club presidents must do. You are the ones who will get things rolling and will keep things rolled. And again, I'm going to ask you to look at the keyway, because that's in the center of the wheel. It's up to you to make the wheel turn or work. And to do that, you must insert the Woodruff key. You are the Woodruff key for this wheel. As a district officer or president, you make the wheel turn and operate smoothly. You make sure everything is in sync. And if for some reason things get out of alignment, you're the one that needs to be flexible, and you're the one that needs to bend in order to keep things moving and working smoothly. In just a few minutes, we're going to introduce all of you. And at that time, Steve and I are going to give you a small token to remind you of the important role that you play, that you are the Woodruff key for that rotary wheel to keep moving. I'm going to ask that you keep this key with you at all times, slide it in your pocket or in your purse, and when you need to be reminded of what your role or your responsibility is, that you just take a look at this little Woodruff key, because it's going to be up to you to keep your club and this district running smoothly. I'm also going to ask you to wear your Rotary pin every single day. When Rick King was president of Rotary International, he asked all of us that were his club presidents to do the same. You know, up until that time, I'd worn my pin on Thursdays because that's when our Rotary Club met and I didn't want to pay a fine. But Rick King was asking me to wear my pin more than just on Thursdays. He was asking me to say every day of the week, Saturday and Sunday included, that I was a Rotarian and that I was proud enough to be a Rotarian and wear that pin every single day. Now, at first, it felt kind of funny to put that pin on Monday morning because I didn't have a Rotary meeting that day. But I will tell you that soon after I started wearing my pin every day, I felt like I was not complete until I had this pin, this Rotary wheel on my lapel. So that's my challenge to you for this year as club president or as a club leader, is to wear this pin every day, for you to be complete when you have it on, and for you to be saying to the world, I'm a Rotarian and I am proud. I wear this pin with pride. I also want to ask you to have fun this year as a district and club leader, to change your community, to change the world. I want you to set big, audacious goals. I want you to be a leader. And most of all, I want you to light up Rotary. Thank you.
The first individual we're going to call forward is Richard Atkins, and the next person after that is going to be Linda Baran. So, Richard Atkins, please welcome Richard. And by the way, please hold your applause until after all of the individuals have been introduced, and we are introducing incoming presidents, district officers, and assistant governors. Richard Atkins from the Rotary Club of Northeast Westchester. Dick, as he prefers to be called, has been with Rotary for so long, he says that he cannot remember when he first started. Dick has 4 children, and he states that he is most proud of having lived as long as he has. Dick loves to travel and has visited 78 different countries. Dick's vision for his club is to increase membership and to enjoy the club's many projects. Linda Baran. Please welcome President Linda Baran from the Rotary Club of Staten Island, where Linda has been a member since 2006. In addition to her duties at Rotary, Linda is the president of the Staten Island Chamber of Commerce. Linda is the proud mother of 3 children, and one of her favorite pastimes is to cook when she can find the time. Her advice is to trust others the way you want to be trusted. The next person up is Brian Benevento, and after that is David Bowers. Brian, please welcome President Brian Benevento of the Rotary Club of South Shore, Staten Island. Brian is a 9-year member of Rotary and is employed by the U.S. Postal Service. He is particularly proud of his wife Karen and his children. When Brian has any free time, he enjoys playing golf. As Rotary President, he plans to increase the membership of his club. His best advice to those around him is to always be grateful. David Bowers, and following David Bowers will be Elizabeth Betty Butcher. I hope I said that correct. David Bowers. Please welcome Assistant Governor for Area 2, David Bowers of the Yorktown Rotary Club. David's involvement with Rotary began in 2002 in Somers. David and his wife Helen have one adult child. His professional background is in information technology. When David is not busy with community work, he enjoys his hobby of home brewing. We should go over to David's house. Please welcome President Betty Butcher of the Pelham Rotary Club. Betty has been with the Pelham's Club since 2007. Betty, who is a realtor, is a second-generation Rotarian and is a proud grandmother of 6 children. Betty's goal this year as president of the Pelham's Rotary Club is to develop a strategic plan for the next 3 to 5 years to ensure that the club remains current and relevant to the Rotarian membership. Next up is Wayne Charles II, and after Wayne will be Vinnie Coakley. Please welcome President Wayne Charles II of the Harlem Rotary Club. Wayne has been involved with Rotary since 2009. Charles's professional background is in healthcare and real estate management. His vision for his club is to enhance the lives of Harlem youth. Plus, he prides himself in being a very patient man with very good listening skills. When Wayne has time to relax, he likes to travel or settle down with a good book. His best advice is to put God first and the rest will fall into place. Following Vinnie Coakley will be John Crawford. Vinnie Coakley, please welcome District Secretary Vinnie Coakley of the Port Chester, New York, Rybrook Rotary Club. Vinnie began his association with Rotary in the Merrimack. In the past, Vinnie has held the office of President, the Rotary Club of Port Chester, Rybrook. Professionally, Vinnie is an engineer, but he might be best known, he says, for his passion for first creating and then sharing exquisite culinary dinners for his friends. So after we go for beer, then we'll go over for dinner. Following John Crawford is Christine DeHart. Please welcome President John Crawford of the Rotary Club of Ossining. John has been with the Rotary for more than 30 years, since 1980. John's professional background is in funeral home management. John encourages everyone to become involved in community service, and he guides the way not only with his long-established Rotary Association, but also as his community's fire chief. John's advice for other community volunteers is to focus on the needs of less fortunate children. Christine DeHart, following Christine will be Janet DiBenedetto. Please welcome President Christine DeHart of the North Shore Rotary Club of Staten Island. Over the past 7 years with the Rotary Club, Christine has held the positions of member of the board, treasurer, vice president, and president-elect. Christine's proudest work for the North Shore Rotary Club is her involvement with their annual bowl-a-thon, which has to date earned $175,000 to help the Staten Island autistic community. Christine is a realtor with Selman Real Estate. Following Janet DiBenedetto will be Dave Dillon. Please welcome District Rotary Foundation Chair Janet DiBenedetto of the Pleasantville Rotary Club. Janet has been with Rotary since 1989 and District Governor in 2000-2001. Janet has received many honors during her 25 years of service, including a Presidential Citation, the International Foundation Meritorious Service Award, and in 2006, she was named District 7280 Rotarian of the Year. Janet credits her service success with the support she receives from her husband, Bob, and her daughters, Joanne and Danielle. Following Dave Dillon will be Taylor Eskew. Please welcome President Dave Dillon of the Rotary Club of Gateway on Staten Island. Dave has been a Rotarian for 19 years and professionally is a funeral director at Hanley Funeral Home, a family business. He is also a triathlete and is currently preparing for his first Ironman triathlon event to help raise money for the Adeo Hospice resident on Staten Island. Dave's goal for his Rotary Club is to keep it simple, to help people, and to help value for his members. Following Taylor Eskew will be Kathleen Fanese. Taylor Eskew, please welcome President of the Rotary Club of Chinatown, Taylor Eskew. During her 22 years of service, she was a member of the Bronx Rotary Club for 18 years before transferring to the Rotary Club of Chinatown. She served as president of the Bronx Club, has been the assistant governor for Area 7, Manhattan, and an active member and chair of the GSE subcommittee for the district. This year, she is the permanent fund subcommittee chair and a member of the $1 Million Dinner Committee. She is a second-generation Rotarian. Her professional background is in construction management. Taylor is married to Jack Levy, and they have 2 sons, 27 and 34. Taylor is particularly fond or proud of having been in charge of the first 2 Jimmy Carter work camps for Habitat for Humanity. Following Kathleen Fanese will be Don Feldman. Please welcome Assistant Governor for Area 4, Kathleen Fanese, from the Rotary Club of New Rochelle. Kate joined the club in 1994 and is a second-generation Rotarian. She and her father made up the first father-daughter members team for her club. Kate is an avid volunteer and says she likes to be in charge and do things her way. She admits that sometimes she becomes too involved in too many things all at once. Her goal for, and that doesn't sound at all familiar to any of us, right? Her goal for her club is to increase membership, and her advice is to stay motivated. Following Don Feldman will be Vito Photo. Don Feldman, please welcome him forward, president of the Rotary Club of Peekskill. Don joined his club in 1987. Don is married to Susan, and they have a son, Stephen, who is also a Peekskill Rotarian. Don was a music teacher and a band director in New York City, and that's a tough job, before going back to school and becoming a podiatrist. He plays the trombone and can be heard on the record he recorded with the rock band Bullet in 1971. His professional background is podiatric medicine and has served as president of the New York State Podiatric Medical Association. His hobby is golf. Don's vision for his club this year is to increase communication within the club through active committee work and keep the Peekskill Rotary as the outstanding club in the district through donations, sponsorships, and a fantastic fellowship. Following Vito Photo will be Michael Gedik. I hope I've got that right, with an easy name like Rick Martin. Sometimes I don't get these names correct, and I apologize for that. Please welcome Vito, president of the Rotary Club of Eastchester. Vito has been with Rotary since 2007. Vito and his wife, Lisa Marie, have 2 adult children, Mark and Amanda. Vito is a dentist and likes to golf and to watch Formula One racing. His goal for his club is to do more for the community. His advice is to go out into the world and make a difference. Following Michael will be Naz Heck. Please welcome President Michael Gedik of the Rotary Club of Larchmont, where Michael has been involved for the past 2 years. He is a second-generation Rotarian. Michael is a traveler who was raised in Europe for an extended period several times in his life, resided in Europe for extended period several times in his life, and Michael has a background in banking, is an experienced entrepreneur. He and his wife, Yoni, have 3 children. Michael's goal as president is to increase the diversity of Larchmont Rotary. After Naz will be Ann Herrera. Please welcome President Naz of the Rotary Club of Central Bronx. Naz, to his friends, has been a Rotarian for 22 years. Professionally, Naz has a career in real estate. Naz and his wife, Simin, have 3 children. One of Naz's dreams is to see his daughter run for public office when she grows up. Naz is proud of being a community worker and advises his fellow Rotarians to have greater impact by focusing on smaller projects. Following Ian will be Laura Hugelmeyer. Please welcome President Ann Herrera of the Rotary Club of Chappaqua. Ann joined the Chappaqua Rotary Club in 2011 and has been involved in the business of financial services for the past 25 years and is currently with Edward Jones Company as a financial planner. Ann has a master's degree in Spanish literature as well as an MBA in portfolio management. And Ann has earned the professional designation of Certified Financial Planner, an achievement for which she is very proud. Following Laura will be Doris Humphrey. Please welcome District Governor nominee Laura Hugelmeyer from the Rotary Club of Rye. Laura began Rotary in 1998 at the Rotary Club of New York, and her professional background is in finance. Laura is particularly proud of her 30 years of experience at Philip Morris Capital Corporation, an independent finance subsidiary of Altria Group Incorporated. Laura's partner is Jay Archer, and she has one adult child, Allison, 27 years old, from a previous marriage. Her goal for this year as DGN is to get to know the clubs and Rotarians in the district so that we can all work together to make the district stronger with vibrant clubs, great projects, and warm fellowship. Following Doris will be Lynn Karam. Please welcome President Doris Humphrey of the Riverdale Rotary Club. The Riverdale Rotary sponsors the Rotary Club of Columbia University. Doris has been involved with the Rotary Club for 20 years, since 1989. Through her involvement in community work, Doris has found that people can achieve great success by committing to these three important things: a focused effort, an unwavering determination, and a willing perseverance. Following Lynn will be Julie Catan. Lynn Karam. Please welcome Assistant Governor for Area 6, Lynn Karam. Lynn joined Rotary in 2009 at the Rotary Club of Mount Vernon. She is the owner of LEK Management Incorporated, where she assists business owners to identify growth opportunities. Lynn's clients have reported over 30% growth in profits after working with her. She has been a two-term club president, club secretary, director for vocational services, and district registrar. Lynn is a Paul Harris Fellow, and in 2010 received the award for Rotarian of the Year. Lynn encourages Rotarians to expand their networks by visiting other clubs and partnering in service projects. Joining us after Julie will be Diana Jutner. Julie Catan. Please welcome President Julie Catan, a Rotarian since 2009 and a member of the Rotary Club of Rye. Julie's main goal at the Rye Rotary Club is to increase membership. Julie's best overall advice to others is to keep calm and to remain true to oneself, which she followed when at age 35 and the mother of two children, Julie returned to school and earned her law degree. Following Diana will be Eric Levinson. Please welcome President Diana Jutner of the Hartsdale Rotary Club. Diana has been a member of the Rotary for 9 years. On a professional level, Diana is an attorney and a professor of legal studies. She also serves as a councilwoman in the town of Greenberg. Diana and her husband Paul enjoy doing many things together, including being involved in team teaching. She and Paul also have a passion for sailing together. Following, and the next individual is Eric Levinson. Following Eric will be Don Lee. Please welcome President Eric Levinson, who has been with the Rotary Club of Briarcliff Manor since 2003. Eric most prides himself in being a good husband to his wife Dawn, as well as being a good father to his children Julia and Michael. Another source of well-deserved pride is from Eric's involvement with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. In 2012, he raised over $60,000 for LLS. Recreationally, he enjoys all sports, but particularly golf, tennis, and paddle tennis. Professionally, Eric is a real estate broker. Eric's goal for his club is to create more service projects and encourages people to live their lives with compassion, honesty, and integrity. Following Don will be Joe Lipolis. Don Lee, please welcome the District 7230 trainer, past District Governor Don Lee, a Rotarian since 1984, and currently he is a member of the Rotary Club of Staten Island. His Rotary classification was higher education, computer science professor. He is married to an anesthesiologist, Dr. Diane Lee, for 40 years, and they have 2 grown children. He has served Rotary International as RI training leader, Governor-elect training seminar trainer, president representative 5 times, Rotaract and Interact committee chairman and special advisor and Centennial District Governor 2004-2005. He is currently serving as a member of Joint Rotary International and the Rotary Foundation Committee of Alumni Relations, chairman of 2015 Mid-Northeast Multi-District PETS, President-elect Training, and committee and RLI faculty member. He and his wife Diane are multiple Paul Harris Fellows, major donors, and Arch Clump Society members. Following Joe will be another Joe Marchese. Joe Lipolis. Please welcome Assistant Governor for Area 1, Joe from the Rotary Club of Peekskill. Joe has been a Rotarian since 2004 and 91st past president of his club. Joe was introduced to Rotary by his wife Cynthia, a member of the Rotary Club of Croton and Hudson. Together they have married daughters, and 4 grandchildren. Joe spends much of his free time volunteering. He is the president of the Rotary Club of Peak Skills Foundation, director of the Hudson Valley Gateway Chamber of Commerce, and a chairman of the advisory board for the Peekskill Salvation Army. Joe enjoys playing golf and vegetating on a beach. Please welcome the Assistant Governor, Area 8 of Staten Island, Joe Marchese. Joe began Rotary in 2005 at the RC of Staten Island. His professional background is as an investment advisor to retirement-age individuals and their families. Joe has earned 2 master's degrees and will receive a PhD in social psychology upon completion of his dissertation. Joe's best advice is to find something in life to be passionate about and pursue it. And when I went to PETS training, he was a wonderful subject matter leader as well. Following Marilyn will be Tom McConnon. Marilyn Massero, please welcome her from the Rotary Club of Larchmont. Marilyn has began her Rotary service in Sarasota Bay, Florida in 1994. While she was in school, Marilyn was a member of the NYU fencing team. In 1997, she was the recipient of the Founders Medal for Meritorious Service and was named Woman of the Year by the YMCA. Marilyn's advice for her fellow officers and Rotary members is to keep trying, every bit helps, and Marilyn will give a fencing lesson a little bit later. Following Tom McConnon will be Donnie McLaughlin. Please welcome Assistant Governor Tom McConnon from the Rotary Club of New York. Tom was first introduced to the Rotary in St. Vincent, West Indies, where he was serving with the Peace Corps. When Tom is not busy with the Rotary or his family, which includes his wife and their 5 children, he runs his company, Thomas Refrigeration. Tom's goal for his club is to help prepare it for the future. Following Donnie McLaughlin will be Jewel Molinar Marsh. Donnie is the president of the St. George's Rotary Club in Bermuda. Donnie has been a Rotarian since 2004. Besides Donnie's involvement with the Rotary Club, Donnie serves on several charity committees, is a past councilor member of the Corporation of St. George's, plus has a strong interest in horticulture. His goal for the Rotary Club of St. George's is to increase membership. Following Jewel will be Mutsi Michael Roach. Please welcome Jewel, the Assistant Governor for Area 3. Jewel began Rotary in 2007 at the Rotary Club of Riverdale, where she became a 2nd-generation Rotarian. She is retired after serving many years in the New York City school system as a senior middle school principal. She is very proud of her 3 sons, who are, as they refer to themselves, a litigator, a lawyer, and a cardiology intern. Jewel was attracted to Rotary when she learned of Rotary and the Gift of Life program while she was studying literacy programs in Kenya. Today, to put it simply, she just says, I am proud to be a Rotarian. Following Mutsi will be Heather Miller. Please welcome President Mutsi Michael Roach of the Rotary Club of Mount Vernon. Mutsi has been with the Rotary for 9 years, since 2005. She is a lawyer by profession and also serves as the parliamentarian with the Greater Hudson Valley chapter of the Lynx. Mutsi's advice in regards to her work with the Rotary is to be transparent in all business conduct. Her goal as president is to increase and maintain membership. Following Heather will be Kirk Niemeyer. Heather Miller is the president of the Rotary Club of White Plains. Heather has been with the Rotary for 9 years, since 2005. In addition to her duties at the Rotary, Heather is the executive director of a not-for-profit agency. Heather is most proud of her daughter Joanne, who is a successful public relations professional. After Turk will be David Schildwachter. Please welcome Assistant Governor from Area 9, Turk Niemeyer, a member of the Rotary Club of St. George's, Bermuda. He has been involved with St. George's Rotary Club for 7 years, since 2007, and his professional background is as the owner of a shipping support company. Special interests included studying and collecting models and information about vintage automobiles, which is a unique hobby in Bermuda because in Bermuda, each family is only allowed 1 vehicle per household. Following David Schildwachter will be David Shribman. Please welcome President David Schildwachter of the Rotary Club of Yonkers, East Yonkers. Dave has been a Rotarian since 2010. When Dave is not presiding over the business of the East Yonkers Rotary, he's involved as a heating consultant. Dave's goal this year for his club is to focus on community service in the form of creating a new playground for Yonkers School 9. Following David Shribman will be Jerry Schwalb. Please welcome Assistant Governor for Area 5 in 2015, District Governor Chair David Shribman. David is a member of the Rotary Club of White Plains, where he has been a member since 1996. In his professional life, David is an insurance broker specializing in health, life, disability, and long-term insurance. At district conferences, as a district conference committee chair, he is enthusiastic about the plans for a very special Rotary experience at the brand new Sheraton Hotel in Valley Forge, PA. David is the father of a 17-year-old girl, and the best advice he has to offer is to learn to be a good listener and do not try to reinvent the wheel. Following Jerry will be George Scott. Please welcome President Jerry Schwalb from the Rotary Club of Yorktown. Jerry has been a Rotarian for 10 years. In her commitment to public service, Jerry has also been involved with the League of Women Voters, the Yorktown Chamber of Commerce, as well as many years as an elected official of Yorktown. On a professional level, Jerry is a real estate broker with Keller Williams Realty Partners, and her Rotarian goal is to rekindle excitement in her club. Following George Scott will be Rita Sharples. Please welcome President George Scott of the Pembroke Rotary Club in Bermuda. George has been with the club since 2002. Besides his work with the Rotary Club, George is professionally involved in industrial relations. George's advice to everyone is to give back to their community through service. A special thank you to George and Aja for traveling from Bermuda to be with us today. Following Rita Sharples will be Rick Sherman. Please welcome President Rita Sharples from the Cortland Manor Rotary Club. Rita first came to the Rotary in 2007 in Putnam Valley. Rita has a master's degree in education and operated in a retail business before retirement. Of all her accomplishments, Rita is most proud of her two sons, one who has overcome a disability and the other who is an accomplished athletic trainer who works for the University of Miami and has spent time working with the Washington Redskins team. Following Rick Sherman will be Stephen Skyer. Please welcome President Rick Sherman of the Bronx Rotary Club. Rick, who is a third-generation Rotarian, has been involved with the Bronx Rotary since 2010. Rick's professional background is in education. He believes that one of the secrets to happiness in life is to keep actively involved in the community and its development. Retirement, Rick says, is not the end of life, but a chance to explore new interests. Following Stephen Skyer will be Cecily Smith. Please welcome President Stephen Skyer of the Scarsdale Rotary Club. Stephen is a second-generation Rotarian and has been involved with the club since 2011. Stephen is an arborist who enjoys coaching the West Point Junior Alpine ski racing team. While Stephen's goal for this year at the Rotary Club is to conceptualize big plans for the future, he believes that the best advice he can offer those around him is to keep things fun. Following Cecily Smith will be Greg Smith. Please welcome President Cecily Smith of the Rotary Club of Metro New York City. Cecily has been with the Rotary for 6 years, since 2008. Her professional background is in project management and design. When Cecily takes a vacation, she loves to travel and explore new places with the goal of learning about new foods and new cultures. Following Greg Smith will be Stephen Todd. Please welcome President Gregory Smith of the Hamilton Bermuda Rotary Club. Greg first joined the Rotary in 2008. On a professional level, Greg has been involved in education. Greg and his wife Elaine have 2 children and 2 grandchildren, and his encouragement to everyone around him is to never give up. Greg likes to take long walks when he is not working on a new DIY project, and he is proudest of his involvement in diversity work. Thank you. Following Stephen Smith will be Janet Walsh. Please welcome President Stephen Todd. I apologize. Please welcome Stephen Todd of the Rotary Club of Sands. Pronounced Sands. Stephen has been with the Rotary Club since 2009 and is serving his second term as president. Stephen lives in Bermuda, where he's involved in retail banking. Stephen's major goal for his club is to increase membership, which he takes very seriously. Stephen has targeted his club's growth at a 10% net increase by the end of the year. Following Janet Walsh will be Kai Williamson. Please welcome President Janet Walsh of the Rotary Club of Bedford Armonk. Janet is beginning her second year of Rotary. Her background is in global business development, and over the past 16 years, Janet has successfully built and managed Birch Tree Global, a company that increases the financial performance of clients by establishing them in new markets and improving workforce productivity. In her spare time, Janet enjoys writing and archaeology. Janet has worked in 75 different countries, and she encourages people around her who exhibit curiosity about the world by telling them, go see it for yourself. And the last introduction is Kai Williamson. Please welcome Kai, who is the president of the Rotary Club of Inwood. And that is in Manhattan, a beautiful section of Manhattan where she's been a member since 2010. Kai's goal for their club is to continue to expand helpful projects in their local community and abroad. Kai's daughter, Banyan, who is a nurse, is also devoted her life to helping others. Service to others and our planet is a moving force of the Rotary Club of Inwood, Manhattan. Last year, Rotarian Kai was honored by former District Governor Greg Arcaro, IS 52, and by New York Parks Commissioner Veronica White as Tree Steward of the Year in 2013. Ladies and gentlemen, why don't we give a round of applause to all of our
So that wasn't the last introduction, but this is a retroduction, because this is a retroduction. Please welcome President Rick Martin of the New York Rotary Club, who is our speaker here in Monte. Rick is a charitable fundraiser and has focused his life on helping others. In particular, Rick is a director of development for Ronald McDonald House, New York, which is a home away from home for children with cancer and their families while they are in New York to receive treatment. The advice that Rick likes to offer when faced with a problem is to understand the resources available and the solution, and that solution will be identified.
Do you pledge to carry out all of the roles and responsibilities expected of you as club presidents of your local Rotary Club to the best of your ability? Do you pledge to do your very best to live by the four-way test, be a positive representative of Rotary in your community and the world? On behalf of all of those assembled here today, I congratulate you on becoming president of your Rotary Club and wish you success in this Rotary year. Congratulations.
Paul Caruso, Governor 1999 to 2000, Rotary Club of North Shore. Janet DiBenedetto, Governor 2000-2001, Rotary Club of Pleasantville. Bob Benson, Governor 2002 to 2003, Rotary Club of Bronxville. Don Lee, Governor 2004-2005, Rotary Club of Staten Island. Helen Reisler, Governor 2005 to 2006, Rotary Club of New York. Carl Mild Jr., Governor 2000. Mildy, sorry, I'm Italian. I should have got that one right. Almost. Rotary Club of White Plains, Mildy. George Camp, Governor 2010. Not here. Neither was Eric. I skipped him. I didn't know George wasn't here. Helen Lynch, Governor 2011 to 2012, Rotary Club of Yorktown.
a microphone.
Okay, as the current governor, it's my great honor to hand over the gavel to our future governor, David Del Monte. Yeah, I will also hand over the chain here. It will be a great relief for me.
Thank you, Matt. And please remain, please, or I'll do some. Okay. I just would like to thank you for all the work that you've done and what the platform that you built with your leadership for this year and beyond. You know, you did some things that were, I think, were very brought depth. Like the meetings that you had with the AGs and getting them more involved. The communication that you had, the hard work that you did, the leadership, the membership foundation joint meeting where you brought in some outside experts that, which set a standard on quality. So I've learned from you. I feel that I've developed a deeper friendship with you. I'm looking forward to advice in the future, and thanks for being the governor before me. And with that, as is tradition and desire, is here's the past president pin and past district governor pin. And as you said a year ago today, roughly, is that this was the position that you were seeking.
This is what I've been training for.
And trust me, I know exactly how you feel, and that's how I feel.
Thank you.
All right, so now David has this chain around his neck. There must be some symbolism in there. All right, David, will you please raise your right hand? Rotary International and past leaders of District 7230 have prepared you to assume the leadership of this district. They have put their faith and trust in you to lead. Are you willing to accept this role and the responsibilities associated with it and be their district governor?
I am.
Are you willing to lead by example and to do your very best to live by the four-way test?
I do.
David, it's my great honor to declare you ready for service in District 7230. Have a great year in light of Rotary.
You know, it's really special to be here, not only because we're all Rotarians, but because in my travels getting up to this time, I've met virtually all of you and developed some kind of relationship with you to different degrees, and it's just so special to be here on a special day for me and all of us that's in front of you, so thank you. But also I'd like to thank my wife Dee Dee, who's a real supporter in this area. Much of the good and the good things that I hope to do will be her influence, I know. And also my daughter Molly is here. Molly, would you please stand? Naomi and Lady Grimm and Naomi Goldfuss for being here as well. But also Julia and Steve for traveling all the distance we had to be here as a representative of the president of Rotary International. So that's special too, so thank you. And also we have AGs. I'm just looking forward to working with the AGs, the presidents, and also our district team. It just everything seems really harmonious with high spirit. Wait a minute. I think I'm related to the Speaker of the House, John Bonner, because I don't know genealogically how, but we share the same gene, and that is crying and emotional fun. Anyway, I am David Del Monte, District 7230 Governor for 2014-2015, and I want to tell you why I'm so proud to be here.
Oh.
I look at this as an opportunity for me to share my dreams and my vision, or make my dreams and my vision our dreams and vision. And my personal mission is to raise Rotary's self-esteem in our clubs, to deepen the sense of pride in our hearts. The good news is, as I see it, is we have a wonderful, wonderful organization, and it's demonstrated by having a program that's so close to me, that's participated in by the clubs, the candidates that the clubs send, and put on by the district, and that's RILA. And how the impact, I've been involved with 4 RILAs as chairman, and the impact that makes on the youth who's attended that is just remarkable. They leave there with a euphoria that is, and friendships that they've developed in a 48-hour period that changes their life, and it gives them memories forever. Another reason I'm proud of Rotary so much is the Polio Plus. I was a member when we started in 1985, and 350,000 people in the world were afflicted with polio each year. This year to date, as of June 18th, only 103 cases have been reported. 91 in endemic countries, the 3 countries that are left, and another 12 in non-endemic countries. And also, with the progress we've made, there's 3 polio viruses, and now there's only 1 that is had to be treated for. So I'm so proud of that. Another thing, an international project that I'm proud of emanates from our district, and it's CAMARCO is the acronym for it. And it's by the Bronxville Club, and past district governor Bob Benson and his wife Doris, past president of the Rotary Club of Bronxville, started it. And basically, what they have done from Bronxville, from New York Bronxville, from our district, is created a program in Africa that it's an economic program of providing self-sufficiency for a village in that area, or the community, and the backlash, if you want to put it that way negatively, is that it removes the need to poach elephants for survival. So that is so great, so proud to be here. And there's many more things that we can do like this. But also another opportunity, another wonderful piece is the opportunity to learn and hone skills that we can use in Rotary that apply to other ones. And one of them is leadership. Now, General Eisenhower defined leadership as the ability to get others to do what you want them to do and have them want to do it. Now, that makes life easier, and basically what that's called is cooperation. And frankly, and he's talking about his military experience, but frankly, a volunteer organization is no different. The only thing, the slight difference is, a volunteer has the right to say no and not take a project. But once they take that project, they don't have a right to do anything but the best of their ability. So, and my family is a volunteer organization, and I'm the boss. Dee Dee just makes all the decisions. But recently I asked myself, is the Rotary model viable with all the things that have challenges that I'll speak about in a moment? And my answer was yes, it's very viable. And the evidence of that is Rotaract. The young people are embracing Rotary values and Rotary programs and growing and proliferating. Our district has 5 Rotaract clubs now, with a 6th one in Staten Island being revised, and targets on several others. The Rotaract, the UN Rotaract Club that is associated with and sponsored by the Rotary Club of New York well, not only do they provide a panel for the district conference, but they provide information for us. And frankly, a week ago when Rick Martins had our Rotary Club planning seminar, I learned something from them, which I'm going to share with you in a minute. But also, clearly, a lot of clubs can get stronger, like going down from like Scarsdale or Yonkers or Metro New York. So it is a very viable movement. Our motto, as you know, is service above self. But our motto is Rotary brings people together who would not normally meet to do things together that they cannot do alone. So we do have some serious challenges. For the last 12 years, Rotary has been 1.2 million people. Same number that came in, left. But there's something that's kind of hidden there. It's everybody's getting older, or the average age would be getting older, yet because a lot of people, it's the same group of people that's leaving. Newer people leave, newer people come in, and people pass away. North American Rotary has lost membership 10% since 2007 and 8. And our district in 2000 in our district in 2001 had over 2,000 members, and today we have 1,450 approximately. Our clubs are getting smaller, our attendance is less, presidents serving more than one term, and frankly, this is not sustainable. But we can change this if we want to. There is no doubt in my mind. And the next logical step would be how? Well, strategically, we need to buy into Rotary International's #1 focus strategy, strategic focus, and that's to strengthen our clubs. We have to apply perhaps some advice that was offered at the Rotary International Convention in Sydney. Make sure your club is giving value to its members. Secondly, apply 2 simple concepts. I got this from the Rotaract Club just a short time ago. Their comment was, we try to balance social and service. Too much service is not good for a club. You got to have a certain amount of social. Too much service, social doesn't support the people that want to do service. So you got to have a balance of those 2 areas. Really simple concept, and I think it makes a lot of sense. To ensure member value is something we have to do. Each person has a different reason for being a member. It's like a kaleidoscope, all different, and working together provides a pretty picture. But we as leaders must play to all those reasons, one way or the other. Every person in this room can be an excellent leader with knowledge and experience. And one thing that's really nice is Rotary offers both. Failure is only quitting. Success is trying again. Now, one piece of advice that I'd like to suggest is we got to strengthen our clubs by embracing the district. The district provides resources for your club. RILA is one of them. Other district-wide projects, district conference is another one of those. Training, training assembly, pre-pets, pets, which I frankly think they've all been they've been excellent and well worth our time. But also, district provides a new leadership experience for you. Because if you have a great time in your club, maybe you want to have additional challenges. So maybe not immediately after you become an immediate past president, but maybe in a year or 2 afterwards. I welcome you and encourage you to come to the district, and don't wait to be asked. Don't wait to be asked, because you might wait too long because somebody doesn't know what you're doing and everybody's busy. Now, how are we going to raise Rotary self-esteem? Well, I suggest that we're going to lead by the future, not by the past. We have to embrace social media. The people that we want as members communicate via Facebook. So that's critical. That's critical. Also, one of my goals and ambitions is to remove burden from the presidents. Extremely important. Most commonly, the presidents get lots and lots of emails, like we all do, but some of them are asking for action on their part. And frankly, we're all too busy to do everything that we're asked to do, even though it's our responsibility. So what we've done is this year is taken some advice from Rotary International that what they offered 5 years ago. Identify the core people within every club, and the core people being a president-elect, a president, of course, a secretary or treasurer, which we typically do, don't know who the treasurers are always, and a club foundation chair and a club membership chair. So now the district counterparts can communicate with these people who can vet the information, and the presidents will get a CC on it, obviously, because they need to be kept in the loop. But it's somebody else that might bring it forward to your board, to your members, or to the president to take action. So it's okay not to do something that's suggested or sometimes asked, but it's only okay not to do it if you're fully informed and you knew about it. Communication is a key thing in my platform and my year. Again, for that same reason, you need to know what's going, everybody needs to know what's going on. And unfortunately, sending an email is relatively ineffective. It is to groups anyway. And what I'm going to be doing is what you've experienced a little bit of, is going to receive the monthly leadership card with things and information that can help you, upcoming events, or that you can take advantage of, or responsibilities that you have to do, or maybe a Rotary moment, or maybe a speaker that you can get for your club if you wish. Then we've started monthly go-to-meeting calls for presidents, 15 minutes long, once a month, and hopefully it can be a standard time. And you can sign in, and we can have some dialogue, just briefly. It's just another, which I think is important. The Governor Spring is going to have a weekly go-to-meeting conference so that we can keep in touch with everybody, so everybody knows, all the upper leadership knows what's going on. And then the plan is to have a bi-monthly go-to-meeting with the conference with the assistant governors, so they know what's going on too. And quarterly, we're going to have face-to-face meetings. 1 hour of meaningful business, 1 hour of social. Now, got on the line here. Now, the district governor's responsibility is to have a monthly newsletter. And my mantra is, there's no money in modesty. Now, the newsletter is going to be print copy to the leadership, digital to all. It's going to be 8 pages, and what we're asking for every club that does something or is proud of something is to send in a photo of either the event or the author of the article, with 100 words on an email, and with a link to a Facebook page, to your website for more information, with an email address to get more information back. And we're going to put this in the newsletter, and so that everybody else in our Rotary District can learn about it and know how good you're doing, or get better ideas for themselves. Our website has always been good and kept pretty current with information. It was a little bit slow in my year, but thanks to Ted, it's up to date now. And also we'll have a Facebook page, God willing. But a membership plan. A club's only competition is itself. Is it good enough for the members and not good enough for the members' friends? And that's a question only you can answer. And see, are you providing value to your members? If you are, I suggest you're growing, or at least if you're not growing in numbers, your age is getting lower as an average age. And we're going to have some programs that are going to be available to you on a voluntary basis if you wish. We have a consultation team, Rotarians, a team of Rotarians, and maybe some non-Rotarians that would come along with certain expertise that can come to your club, come to a club meeting and make an assessment for you. And the reason why they can do a good job is because they have experience in other clubs, other districts, other ways of life. And then they would come back and report to you, to the leadership, and you can maybe make recommendations for changes or ideas to do. And it's up to you to do that if you wish to do it. Nothing is shoved down your throat in a volunteer organization. But I think that's going to be very valuable. Also, our membership chair, Andrew Broussard, in Peekskill, will provide the clubs with the club membership chair and the president with information about membership. And there'll be an article monthly on the district newsletter about membership techniques. And I'm sure Rotary International will be sending you information too. But something that's very exciting to me is we have a district extension chair. Now, no matter how hard we work with our existing clubs, some of them are not going to make it. That's true. Well, first of all, it's true in life. So the only way it's possible to grow a district is having other clubs sponsor new clubs. And Mike Fix of the East Chester Rotary Club is identifying 50 locations in the district that are likely candidates for breakfast clubs, Rotaract clubs, cocktail clubs, sidelight clubs, or even E-clubs, which by my attendance at the last international convention, I understand them now. And they are a viable option for Rotary. It's amazing. And I have a paper on it, which I'll be happy to send, which will be sent out over time. But this idea of finding where clubs can possibly go is just planting a seed for a nearby club or somebody that transfers that to pick up help the seed germinate and form a new club. Now all I've done is talked about this idea with a few people, and already 3 ideas have come up: a satellite club in one area, a breakfast club in another area. And these are people said, well, I guess we should put a breakfast club in X community. I said, I want to put a satellite club, and the board's all for it in X community. And somebody else wants to put another club in Manhattan. So it's just an idea, but that's the only way we're going to get growth. The more Rotary clubs there are, the more awareness there is in the community. And when my friends see your Rotary club work, they don't think of you, they think of me. So, and vice versa. So that's how the word gets around in Rotary. Again, a club's only competition is itself. Now, David Sherman is our district conference chairman. And I am so pleased and proud that he is that person, because it's the right personality, the right talent set, and he's becoming a great friend of mine. And I'm just glad. But he and Vinny's, the committee's expanding, but the core is Vinny Coakley, David, and myself. Vinny's going to do the website for the district conference. But at the last meeting, he said, well, should we use SurveyMonkey and ask the survey? And I said, no, we don't want to do that. It's so hard to get people to respond. So we said, no, it's not an idea. But the information can be handy. And out of honor and respect for David Sherman, I have some questions. First of all, raise your hand. If you're a golfer, please raise your hand high. Please raise your hand. If you like scramble golf, thank you, put your hand down. How many tennis players do we have here? Can I raise? We're going to have a tennis tournament for one. Okay, how many shoppers do we have in the room? Hey! How many people like to visit historic sites? Oh, whoa. And how many people like to be away and relax and read? Great. Well, David, what do you think?
How many people like to drink?
That's perfect. So let me tell you just briefly. The 2015 District Conference begins Thursday, April 23rd for dinner. But that's optional. The district Rotary International President Rhett comes in. We're hoping 25 or 30 Bermudians come in to play golf. And because on Friday we have a golf tournament, shopping available is the world's largest, or United States' largest mall, the King of Prussia Mall, not counting one that has a theme park in it. And so we have touring, House of Friendship, a dinner, and a program on Friday. On Saturday, we have a hot topic breakout session, the war dinner, free time, more touring, casino gambling nearby, a casino nearby, a grand dinner, and with a carefully selected speaker. So, and I'm almost done, folks. And Sunday, we have the business meeting, the remembrance service, and a farewell brunch with a speaker. Now, here's the important part. Watch out for the super early bird registration and save $200 per couple, which ends September 1st. Also, all registrations to the district conference are refundable by April 10th when the registration closes. Anyway, so that's the commercial. But, and just to conclude, My responsibilities comes from Rotary International, but my authority comes from you. My responsibilities don't go away, and I anticipate to continuously earn your authority during the next 12 months. And I ask you to join me in lighting up Rotary by working to balance, adding value to your clubs, and helping the district get stronger. And everybody to build Rotary self-esteem in our clubs and deepen the sense of pride in our hearts. Thank you very much. It's been a great year.